Welcome back to 100 Lies the God Culture Teaches About the Philippines. Today's lie concerns Timothy Jay Schwab's assertion that the Philippines is Cattigara, which is a place located on Ptolemy's map of the world. This lie is a direct result of Tim's unfamiliarity with all of the primary sources regarding Magellan's voyage around the world except for Pigafetta's journal. Tim's main and only argument for this erroneous assertion is that Antonio Pigafetta recorded that they set a course for that place and landed at Samar in the Philippines. Thus all other claims are bogus.
So as you see on the map here, Magellan is headed not just to the Philippines, but very specifically to between the 12th and 13th degree north, which is known as Samar. On the map, just look at it, there it is. Okay, you know, like Samaria. Yeah, Columbus was going where? To meet up with the lost tribes of Israel. Who would name Samaria? Don't know. So hard to figure that out, of course. Pigafetta just told us that is where Cattigara is. Done. Settled. This is fact, and it's not up for debate.
Actually, that is not what Pigafetta says. He says they set course for Cattigara, but he never claimed that Samar is Cattigara. In fact, the place is never mentioned again in the whole of his journal. Samar is also not in between the 12th and 13th degree. Let's not forget that Tim claims Pigafetta is the only eyewitness account to Magellan's voyage.
The problem is, well, they ignore history, real history, about as valid as you get, such as Pigafetta's journal, the only eyewitness account of Magellan's arrival in the Philippines. That would be a duh.
That is wrong on so many levels and reveals the total ignorance of Timothy Jay Schwab and his alleged research team. The fact is, while Pigafetta's journal is an important source of information about the first voyage around the world, there are other eyewitness accounts. Back in Spain, the surviving crew was subject to interrogation. That testimony and a complete description of the voyage can be read online, but it's all in Spanish. Maximilianus Transilvanus, a courtier of Emperor Charles V, actually interviewed the surviving crew members and wrote a summary of the voyage.
I have taken care to have everything related to me most exactly by the captain and by the individual sailors who have returned with him.
In his introduction, Maximilianus recognizes the importance and worth of Pigafetta's published journal and tells us that what is to follow was related to him by the surviving crew members. That is crucial for what he writes about concerning Cattigara.
When our men had set sail from Tidore, one of the ships, and the larger one, having sprung a leak, began to make water, so that it became necessary to put back to Tidore. When the Spaniards saw that this mischief could not be remedied without great labor and much time, they agreed that the other ship should sail to the Cape of Cattigara. So the ship sailed again from Tidore, and, having gone 12 degrees on the other side of the equinoctial line, they did not find the Cape of Cattigara, which Ptolemy supposed to extend even beyond the equinoctial line.
At this point in the voyage, it is December 1521 and the crew are on the island of Tidore, which is in the Moluccas. One of the ships springs a leak, but it cannot be fixed. The other ship is told to press ahead to the Cape of Cattigara, but they are never able to find it. There you go. Simple as that. Neither Pigafetta nor the surviving crew members claim Samar is the Cape of Cattigara or that they ever found its actual location. There is more to this story, as those who listened to the testimony of Magellan's returning crew members decided that Gilolo Island in the Moluccas was Cattigara.
It cannot be denied that the island of Gilolo, lying near the Malucco Islands, is the Cape of Cattigara, inasmuch as the companions of Magellanus journeyed westward upon leaving the strait discovered in 54 degrees of south latitude, sailing such a distance west and northeast that they arrived in 12 degrees of north latitude, where were found certain islands, and one entrance to them. Then running southward 400 leagues, they passed the Malucco Islands and the coast of the island of Gilolo, without finding any cape on it. Then they took their course toward the Cape of Buena Esperanza, Good Hope, for Spain. Therefore the Cape of Cattigara can only be the said island of Gilolo and the Moluccas.
Are these men, who were well acquainted with the testimony of the entire crew, dunderheads and ninnies who ignored actual history? Of course not. It is Timothy Jay Schwab who ignores actual history by only using Pigafetta as his source for Magellan's voyage. Tim ends this video by maligning Scottish physician and writer John Caverhill.
John Caverhill deduced in 1767, before this map was created, that's why we want to cover this, that Cattigara was the Mekong Delta. Okay, so we're talking about essentially Vietnam. Okay, so he deduced? Is that an accurate word? Not even remotely. Is that what you call a ridiculous guess founded on nothing but ignorance? You mean he ignores Magellan, the actual explorer who found and corrected the course to Cattigara in writing, and then he tries to figure it out, but, well, he's an idiot who ignores history, then claims to be an historian. Ta-da! Enough of this stupidity. I be academic, so I forget the explorer who landed on Cattigara, who left actual coordinates. No, I'm going to throw that out and just make up my own location because, well, that's academic.
I agree. Enough of this stupidity. Neither Pigafetta nor the rest of Magellan's crew claim they ever landed on or found Cattigara. The Philippines is not Cattigara.